PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attending and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters meet 3 times monthly at different locations after normal business hours. For information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to events at ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Come on, I know you can sing. You can make up something. Anything at all. All right. Good bumper music right there, right? All right. The Ocala Civic Theater is one of my favorite places to go just to escape. It's a great place to escape, right, Robin?
It is. I love going there.
Robin introduced me to the amazing talent over there, and so we're going to talk about a new production. It's called Matilda. Do I have that right? The name of the play? Okay. Katrina Ploof, good to see you again. You're the director of Matilda. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. I'm here with 2 actresses from Matilda who are doing some really beautiful work, and I know you're a fan of one of them. You're a fan of
Oh my gosh! You're referring to Shannon? Shannon
Yes.
Guinn?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I am doing so well, thank you.
You have the most beautiful presence, the most beautiful voice.
Aw.
You're just such a nice person. Do you know, after we saw you, what did we see her in that really blew us away? Was it Mamma Mia?
Yes.
Was that the one we saw
Yes,
you in?
sir.
Okay. Do you know we looked you up?
Oh, really?
And you actually performed at a boxing match for the veterans.
Yes, I did.
And we were there. We got you on video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's almost like do you even know about that video?
I did not know about that video.
Oh, you're on there. You're doing the Star Spangled Banner, right?
Yes, sir.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh. You've always been a good singer.
I try.
It's just really, really good. And I'm getting to meet somebody new. Alexis Benitez, is that how you say your name?
Yes.
How are you?
Good.
You're beautiful, too. Are you a singer?
Yes.
You are? You're sitting next to a really great singer.
I'm sitting next to a really great singer.
Oh, that is sweet. Listen to that. We had this talk this morning about, you know how they say if you can't beat them, join them? We had this other one. If you can't join them, serve them, right? So I can't do what you do, but I can serve you by getting the word out about what you do. So good to see all of you.
Yes,
So let's find out about the play. It's a musical, right? It has to be if you got 2 great singers.
So Matilda is a musical. It's based on the Roald Dahl story.
Based on what?
The Roald Dahl story. Roald Dahl was a writer of what a lot of people consider to be children's books.
Okay.
But those of us who know his books know that they're great for adults too. The thing you're going to remember the minute I say it is he wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Roald
So
Dahl.
there we are.
I had no idea.
So-
Roald Dahl. Did you know who Roald Dahl was?
No, I did
No.
not.
Okay.
So
Now.
you know how much fun Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is, right? It's a little naughty and it's a little sarcastic and kind of subversive in a way.
Yeah.
Well, Matilda is certainly from the same.
Oh, really?
From the same vein, yes. As a matter of fact, one of our favorite lyrics in Matilda is sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty.
Oh, I'm going to get a T-shirt that says that. That's a good one.
Yes. So Matilda is a extraordinary young girl who's brilliant. She's very, very smart, and she lives in some pretty tough circumstances. But through her incredible intelligence and some magic, she's very resilient. It's just a beautiful story. There was a great movie from
Really?
this story probably 15 years ago that a lot of people are going to remember. Kids love it.
Was it called Matilda?
Yes, it was.
Do you remember that, Robin?
Yes.
I remember it, but I never saw it.
Okay.
So this
It's
is
a
going
lot
to be
of
a
fun.
real treat.
Yes. And the music and the lyrics are written by an English comic named Tim Minchin.
Okay.
He's just a
Well, I'm learning a
fascinating
bunch
guy.
of new stuff today.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, wonderful musical.
Katrina, did you pick it out? I mean, is this your, you couldn't wait to do this one?
Well, I couldn't wait to do it. I didn't pick it. I think you remember our executive director of 31 years recently passed away.
Right.
And I think it was one of the last shows that Mary picked.
Oh,
so
wow.
I feel
Oh,
like
really?
it's a gift from Mary to us. She called me about a month before she passed away and said, very sweetly, nobody else should do this but you. Can you come direct?
Are you an actress too?
I was, yeah, many years ago.
Do you know what you could do?
What could I do?
Do you know that, Janice from Friends? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Do that. Let me hear you do that. Let me hear you do that. Listen. Let me hear you do that.
I can't. No.
Can't she do it? Can you hear it in her voice? I can hear you do it. Yeah.
Where is Janice from? I can't remember.
I don't know. TV.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
New York or
I'm from Maine.
From Maine.
Yes, can you believe it?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
I know. Well, you don't meet a lot of people from Maine because we don't even have 1 million people in the state. So, it's hard to meet people from Maine.
So who plays Matilda?
Ta-da! Here she is.
Wow, you landed a title role. Did you audition?
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It was fun. It gave me pretty much like a warm feeling in my stomach. I didn't know what I was feeling, and I was kind of nervous at the same time.
So you had a warm feeling after you were done auditioning?
Yeah.
Like you had a gut feeling like you got it. I nailed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? What song did you sing for your audition?
I sang Fight Song by Rachel Platten.
Oh, wow. Do you know how that goes, Robin?
No, I don't.
Does anybody know how? Can you sing a little bit of it? How's it go?
Yes. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion.
Oh, my
yay.
gosh. That is wonderful.
And this is such a challenging role, though, because we're reading the story and you have a lot of emotions because people in the play, they're not so nice to you.
No.
Really? So what do you do? Slap them?
No.
What kind? How are they not nice to you?
My mom and dad in the play, they abuse me. They verbally abuse me.
Well, that's crazy. What's the matter with them?
I don't know.
Are you a rich kid in the play? I mean, not in real life. I mean, is Matilda a rich kid or a poor kid? Or?
No, her dad is getting to be rich, but he sells knackered cars for unfair prices.
Not good cars. I like that. That'd be a great name for a car dealership. Not good cars for unfair prices. That'd be a great radio bit, right? So do you have to, like, in order to do the role, do you have to know all those things? Like, do you need to know how you're being treated and how the other people in your life, in the character's life, I should say, do you need to know all that?
Well, I'd say yes. It all depends on how you think of it. I think I need to know it so I can feel the emotions. So it's easier to act the role, because if you know the emotions, then it's easier to act the role.
Wow, you're another Shannon Guinn. Aren't you? Yeah.
Shannon,
Wow.
what character do you play and how do you interact with
I
Matilda?
play Miss Honey, and I am Matilda's teacher. So she comes in on her first day of school, kind of scared. Because, I mean, your first day of school is a big experience. You're very nervous and all that.
Yeah.
Miss Honey does her best to, make the children feel welcome. And, the kids really fill her up. She is a very cheerful woman. She loves what she does. And, she has a very sort of similar, I want to say kind of similar personality and experience to Matilda. They get along really, really well in the show. They have a really great dynamic.
She sings, I hope. Does she sing?
Oh, yes, she
Oh,
does.
good. I'm glad she sings.
And do you know about Matilda's home life, too, as her teacher?
Sort of later in the play, it does kind of become more obvious to me and some of the other characters around us. And, we really worked to find a solution for her and for fixing her home life. And I did a really deep dive into child abuse and victims of any kind of abuse.
For the role? You did that?
For the role,
Oh,
I
really?
did. I was very intrigued, and I wanted to kind of know the history, especially with the time period. And, the first article on child abuse wasn't really published until 1962, and it wasn't fully recognized really until the 1970s.
Really? Wow.
Given the history and the time period of when the book was written and when the movie came out, it was still just coming into public knowledge. It was just coming out that, people would abuse their children, whether it be verbally or physically. So it was a very interesting read, and I think this is a great play that opens people's eyes and lets you know that even in these circumstances, you can still make a difference. You can still be,
Wow,
a really great person. You can still be loved. It's sort of like you make your family. You have family you're related to, but in the end, you kind of choose who your real family is.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the answer to the question I asked Alexis, as far as doing the research and understanding everything in the background of the character.
Oh, yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So it helps you in what you're trying to get across to the audience, right?
Absolutely. Research is a huge part of acting, I think, because you have to really know what you're talking about to be able to.
So tell me about your audition.
My audition.
If I was anybody else, I would be scared if I saw you there. I'd say,
oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Oh, the audition process was really great. I had a lot of friends there.
Yeah.
And
trying out for the same role?
Sort of. Some of them were. Some of them were. I was willing to take anything. I love Matilda. I love Roald Dahl. I grew up on the book. Tim Minchin is an absolute genius. Oh my goodness. He has some really good comedy stuff. And so it was really just great to have the opportunity to even just be a part of something as amazing as this production. And I just so happened to get a role that I really liked.
We are so lucky in our community to have such a great theater group and talented people like you ladies to give us something nice to go to. I mean, it's really top notch. It's really the real deal, as Rob and I like to say. It is the real deal, right? So when does this start?
So we open, gosh almighty, a week from tomorrow.
Oh my God! Say, oh my God! It starts. Let me hear.
A week from tomorrow, runs through September 22nd. And boy, oh boy, if you're thinking of coming to see us, don't wait.
Boy, oh boy.
Because I think we're gonna sell.
Oh yeah.
We have some brand new designers to Ocala Civic who are with us on the show. We have
You mean for the background stuff?
Right,
Okay.
scenery, lights.
That's what I mean.
Yep. So
We
we're
don't need
really
scenery in
excited
radio.
about
That's
that.
why I'm not familiar with that whole thing.
So that's exciting. Some work of some people that maybe our audience have not had a chance to appreciate yet. So I'm really excited about the work of our design team, our production team, and of course the amazing Erin Brooks Brewer doing costumes. She's I don't know if you guys know this, but Erin Brooks Brewer, who was our resident costume designer, last month won at the National Design Competition, won the overall national prize for her designs for Addams Family.
We had seen that press
really?
release and we published it on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And it was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I got to be there and listen to the judges talk about her work, and it was really exciting to take home that honor for the theater and for Erin. So we're getting to see her work again, of course, on Matilda. She's having a great time because it's terrible 1970s clothing.
Oh my God. You have Patrick Stanley playing Miss Trunchbull?
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. So he
So-
looks like a woman, or?
Right, because in the English theater, that's a real tradition. If you know the importance of being earnest, that's another really famous play where a man plays a woman. That's a tradition, of course, that goes way back to Shakespeare's time. And so for Matilda the musical, the writers crafted the role of Miss Trunchbull, which could be played by a man if you wanted to go that way. And I did, because I think it's great fun for the audience.
That is great fun.
Yes, and we get to see Patrick in a skirt, so everybody stand by.
Another favorite of mine is Dionne Howard, and I see his name on the list as well. So,
Yes.
Yeah. You know who I always think of him when I see Mary Poppins?
Oh.
The movie, because he looks like the guy that plays. Who's the guy in Mary Poppins?
Oh, that's...
Bert, yeah.
Oh, Bert is...
Right?
No, the other
You
guy.
mean Dick Van Dyke?
No, the newer one.
Oh,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to lose his mind when he hears that you give him that compliment.
Oh, really? I always see that. I say, that doesn't look like Dionne. It looks like just like the guy. So what is the music like in this? That's a hard question to answer. But for example, is it like who's the guy who did Cats? What's that guy's name?
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, is it like that kind of music, or is it more like really?
I think it's more contemporary than that. I would call it a pop score, a pop rock score.
Okay.
It's a lot like Shrek,
Okay, that
or
helps me.
Addams Family. So it has a brightness, a very contemporary feel. Going back to Alexis's audition, she chose a great song because it's a song about a strong young woman, but it also has the feel of Matilda the musical, which is a very bright, driving sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll really enjoy it. It's there are a couple of beautiful melodies that are very sweet, and then there's some real rallying songs that kids do. At the end of the play, the kids sing a song called Revolting Children, which is a fantastic song, yes.
I
And
bet
they
it's
all
great.
get to show off, all 20 of them.
I'm guessing visually it's fun too for the audience,
yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of movement happening on stage.
Yeah, we have a great new choreographer who's never been with us before, named Sarah Catherine Barnes, who I brought in from work that I've done with her in the past. That I just think her work is terrific. And so, I don't know, you guys talk about Sarah Catherine. You've been having a good time,
I
right?
love her. She's so great. Oh my goodness.
I don't even know where to start.
Are the two of you dancers and singers by nature, or does theater kind of expand your talents by being exposed to these things? A little bit of each, maybe?
Yeah, just a little bit of each. I was originally a dancer, and then my grandma, she was reading the newspaper, and she saw the article on Matilda, and she goes, "Hey, you want to try out for this?" And I was like, "Sure." And then my talent's been expanding ever since that.
So do you have aspirations to be a singer? I mean, like in the future? I mean, you're already one now, but...
Yes, I actually did. I always talked to my grandma about it, and we were trying to get me that kind of stuff. And then when we figured out Ocala Civic Theater did musicals, we both got really excited.
So this is for both of you. When you do like a different style than you might do if you weren't in a play, if you just picked up a guitar and sang or something, does this expand your musical repertoire, or what's the word, repertoire?
Absolutely. I think any experience with any type of music expands you, not only your repertoire, but expands you as a human being. There's so much emotion that's held within
philosopher.
Music. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Expands you as a human being, yeah. I've been an expanding human being all my life.
Oh my goodness. But it really gives you, I think music makes you definitely a well-rounded person, not just a well-rounded performer. And I had the kind of exact opposite of Alexis. I was not a dancer at all. I started out singing, and my parents, they got wind of just little things here and there, and I started performing, and I was lucky enough to hear about the Ocala Civic Theater, and I started doing stuff there when I was 13, and it's every opportunity you get to do theater expands you as a person, because you can do everything from Tim Minchin to Stephen Sondheim to William Shakespeare. That's not even a musical, but there are so many different playwrights. There are so many different techniques you can use within those plays, and every show, I think, is a new experience, and it gives you really an opportunity to expand your talents and expand your characteristics. And it's really just a great opportunity, especially with a contemporary piece. So
What do you do, the two of you, this is for both, what do you do to prepare for the length of time you have to do this? How many, what is it, like a month?
It's 22 performances.
22. So, is it long, is it like starting a long road trip or something? How do you prepare?
how do you prepare, baby?
Baby, how do you prepare, baby?
I pretty much prepare how I prepare for the crowd is I'll have my mom and my family sit on the couch, and I'll just say my lines.
Oh, okay.
Or I'll stand and stare at myself in the mirror and then start saying my lines in front of the mirror, and then it helps me perform in front of the crowd.
But you also have to go to school too during the day, and you've got late nights at the musical.
Yes, my friends recently figured out that I was in the show, and now that's all they're talking about. So, and then they ask me to do my lines for them sometimes, and I'll do my lines for them. So that also helps me.
Oh, really? Do you have any bits together that you could give us a sample right now?
I don't know.
You got something? Does that throw you a curveball?
That's a little curveball.
That's a curve, huh?
That's a little curveball.
You know what you could share, and I think you should tell them, is what it's like to see yourself on a billboard.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you saw yourself on a billboard?
Yes.
Where? I want to go see it.
There's actually one right outside. by the
Outside.
CF.
Oh, across the
Okay,
street?
we'll have to check it out.
It's
Is
right.
it an electronic one?
Yes,
So I got to
it's-
watch it for a while?
Yeah, it's on the side facing the Arby's.
Okay.
So there's the Arby's, and you look straight, and then there's the billboard.
And you're on there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wow.
She is
do
all
you-
over town.
Do you have the imagination that Matilda has?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's what my friends tend to say. Say that I have the mind of Matilda.
Oh, that is sweet.
And
Oh.
I would
Shannon,
agree,
how is
actually.
this different for you than the other performances that you performed in?
This, honestly, Miss Honey is very challenging. We've been on a journey, and Katrina has truly helped me so much to expand as a performer, as we just said. And because the book's description of Miss Honey is that she's a warm person, she's a joyful person, but she seldom smiles. So we really worked hard to find a way to, portray that warmth without putting in the big smile
Oh my
and
gosh.
making her a big Broadway showgirl star. So she's a lot more grounded and I think a lot more subdued than roles I typically play, I guess.
So we got to wait
She's
for
a
the
lot of
curtain
fun.
call to see your smile?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How does your character wear her hair?
Well, her hair is going to be back in a low bun. She has glasses too, and she's always in, I think, blue. That's her main kind of color. So
okay.
I think she's a truly gorgeous character, and just because she's so simple. There's not a lot to her physicality-wise, but she is still very unique by the way her mind works and the way she speaks.
Robin
She
asked
was-
about...
Oh, sorry.
Well, this is actually for you. Robin asked about the hair, and I have a real quick story. We had the ladies in here from the play. I don't remember what it was called, but it was it was a true story about the lady who discovered the formula or the equation for the speed of light.
Oh, Silent Sky.
Silent Sky, yes. And I went to the show and didn't recognize anybody on stage because everything looked different. The hair was different. They all looked different. Yeah. So is that going to happen? Am I going to recognize the people I've met?
I think certainly what theater does better than any other art form is that it gives you permission to use your imagination. So Shannon. I mean, she's sitting here, we're having a lovely time. It's early in the morning. But when you see her as Miss Honey, and Miss Honey is an abused child herself. So Miss Honey is damaged inside as well as Matilda. When you see Shannon and she is dressed in a particular way, lit in a particular way, she is speaking in a particular way, and the music playing under her, all of those things combine to give you permission to make her who you want her to be. And that theater does not happen on stage. Theater happens in the audience. It's your imaginations that make theater. If we're performing to an empty auditorium, that's not theater, that's a rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's only when we get you guys, our acting partners, that theater happens.
I'm
And
an
theater,
acting partner.
the art form.
That's-
Yes, you are our acting partners.
I love
Without
that.
you, we can't do our job.
I love that.
So we get ready to do our job. We work really hard.
Well, I already know this is going to be a great show. I mean,
we're really excited.
I mean, the three of you have already convinced me that this is a good one. And I don't even know the story of Matilda. Robin seems to know it. I kept myself away from so much, right? I only recently discovered chocolate ice cream. And I had no idea it was so good.
Goodness. Now I'm really feeling bad for you.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
You were talking about tickets before. How can people get some?
So I think the best way these days, of course, because it's the modern world, is to pop on our website, which is ocalascivictheater.com, theater with an R-E, or you can call the box office, 352-236-2274. And boy, I would do it soon. It's going to be a really popular show, and if you wait to the end of the run, then you might not be as lucky. If you want the excitement of opening night, we have a reception that starts at 7, yummy food.
Oh,
We have
wonderful.
a bar, you can get some beer and wine. And just enjoy yourself in the lobby before the show starts. Come celebrate with us. Opening nights are fun at Ocala Civic.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's August 29th.
Yes, a week from tomorrow. Yikes.
Thank you all for coming in here. I'm looking forward to it. Alexis, you are beautiful. I can't wait to see you on stage.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Shannon, you are beautiful. Thank you for coming in and
Thank you
sharing
for
your talent.
having us.
And Katrina, you're amazing. Thank you for what you do for the rest of us.
Oh, thank you guys.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A federal case of human trafficking through massage parlors includes one in Gainesville.